Welcome back to Ask the Expert. I'm your host, Hannah Place, and today we are talking all things Medicare. So if this relates to you or maybe somebody that you love, make sure to listen up. We have David Williams here. I'm reading 12 states, 20 years of Medicare experience, and 22 agents that you manage. So, wow. This is incredible. Also a 5-star Google rating.
It's true.
That takes a lot of work. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
Yes. How did you get into this industry?
Well, it was kind of by accident. Funny story is my wife actually applied for a job for me 22 years ago, and I got called on the interview and went, and the rest is history. I've been in it now coming up almost 22 years.
Wow. Okay. So Medicare can be very confusing. Mm-hmm. It is new when you get to that age or you're helping a parent or loved one navigate it. So what do people need to know as they start to approach that 65 mark?
Well, one of the things that we think is crucially important is education. Mm-hmm. One of the issues that we have are people kind of wait to the last minute on this. So we really recommend that about 6 months prior to when you think you're going to come on Medicare, take the time, find a trusted expert, and educate yourself, because there's a lot of options that are out there.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are. Do you have a favorite client story of somebody that you've worked with?
I sure do. Early on in my career, I had a gentleman who was on a Medicare supplement, and he was worried that he couldn't pay the premiums any longer. So there was a new product out called Medicare Advantage, and he said he was willing to try it, but he was concerned about whether or not he could ever go back to a supplement if he didn't like it. So I told him, I said, why don't you take all the money you're saving by going on this plan and putting it into a separate savings account, and let's see how the year goes. And he said, wow, that's a great idea. Well, every year for the next 10 years, he called me at the beginning of the annual election period to say, Dave, guess how much money I've got in my account? So it was kind of a tradition for me that I knew Medicare season was starting when I got that phone call.
That's great.
It was great.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that annual enrollment period. Mm-hmm. Are there certain things that people need to be looking out for when they hit that time of the year?
Well, certainly. The first thing they're going to get is their ANOC letter in the mail. Mm-hmm. That stands for Annual Notice of Change. Now, the ANOC letter is kind of giving you the details of the changes that are coming, because most Medicare plans have changes every year. So because of that, you want to find that first. And then if you find that that particular ANOC letter doesn't match with what you want for your plan anymore, you need to find a trusted expert. And the most important thing every year is to check your prescription drugs. That's probably one of the biggest expenses that seniors spend on their healthcare.
Oh, interesting. Okay, and you mentioned the plans. There's a few different types of Medicare plans, from my understanding. Would you explain a little bit about each one and what distinguishes them between each other?
Sure, absolutely. So there's Original Medicare, which is the red, white, and blue card that we all know. The Original Medicare covers just your medical and your hospital portions. There's no prescription drugs involved in that, and it doesn't cover everything. But what it does cover is your basic needs at an 80% cost, and you're required to pay the 20%. Now, if you want to get rid of that cost, then you can move into what's known as a Medicare supplement. Now, the Medicare supplement plans, there are a variety of them, but those plans are designed to pay what Original Medicare doesn't pay. But the one item that we're missing, which is the prescription drug portion, so that's kind of the three things for the Original Medicare: red, white, and blue card, a supplemental card, and prescription drugs. Now, there is also a product called Medicare Advantage. Now, Medicare Advantage is an alternative to Original Medicare, but it provides you all the protection with Original Medicare. It includes prescription drug coverage, and it has things like gym membership, dental, vision, over the counter. So it offers a more complete package, but that's become a very popular product in the last few years.
Okay. What about for the person who is still working over the age of 65? Do they need to be thinking about signing up for Medicare?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, and here's why. You're required by Medicare starting January 1st of 2026 that if you're working past the age 65, you must participate in a prescription drug plan through Medicare. Well, that's new. Now, you also have to decide whether or not you want to contribute to your HSA, your health savings account. You also have to decide the cost. You have to decide what's your health conditions? There's a lot of factors. And so what we do is we take time to sit with you and help you decide, do I stay on the employer insurance? Do I move off of that and go on to Medicare? But there's a lot that's entailed in that question.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was hearing you talk with someone before this interview started, and just your passion for really educating people. And I think that that's so important. And I know you have a resource for somebody that you love to put resources and education in people's hands. So can you share a little bit more about what you've put together?
Well, many, many years ago, I realized that I worked for two of the largest Medicare companies in the industry at corporate America. So I felt that there wasn't enough education in the Medicare system. So we created Medicare's Ultimate Protection Guide. And this is not just for people on Medicare, it's also for their family members who are helping them decide on exactly what they should choose. It's unique because it has quizzes in there. It has a list of Medicare terms, acronyms for Medicare, because we do use a lot of those in our industry. But we included a whole page on those, so when you're looking through things, you understand exactly what that acronym means.
That's really helpful. Well, thank you for being here with us today. And if somebody is listening and knows that they just need to get in touch with you, where would they find you?
Sure. They can visit us at our website. There's a contact form there, and we'll be happy to get back with them and give them some one-on-one attention.
Great. Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Ask the Expert. We'll see you next time.